Can you want me like the other boys do? They stare at me while I stare at you.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Valley Daisy. If you're new, what's going on? In today's video, I'm going to show you how I achieve a flawless, full coverage, smooth, filtered look. I've been doing this for the past couple weeks and I've gotten a ton of compliments on what I use and what I've been doing and just what's on my face. So I figured I'd make a video and show you some tips and tricks that I have, as well as the products that I use to achieve this look. So if you're interested, then go ahead and keep on watching. So one of the most important steps to having a flawless complexion is to start with skincare. Skincare is very important at any age. Never too young to start. I feel like I'm only 21 and skincare is just it's vital. When you are obsessed with makeup and you just beat your face all the time, skincare is vital to keeping your skin healthy, young looking. You obviously do not want to age quickly. That is not the case. So yeah, let's just go ahead and start with the steps that I take to achieve this look. First off, you want to start off with the lightest in consistency. So for that, I'm going to start off with eye cream. This is the eye cream that I've been using. It's from Bare Minerals. It's the Brilliant Future Age Defense and Renew Eye Cream, one of their newest products, and I'm telling you, Bare Minerals new skincare is looking bomb. So this is a gel to cream consistency, and I just love the way that this sinks and fits and just feels under the eyes. It's very lightweight, it's moisturizing. I use it day and night and it just works well under makeup. So moving on from that, I would go on to serum. I am using the Brilliant Future from Bare Minerals. I really love how that also sinks into the skin and doesn't sit on top. It's supposed to enhance your natural glow. Then you would go on to your moisturizer. Now I don't have a moisturizer of my choice at the moment. It's very difficult for me to find a day cream to fit my needs. I'm a girl of needs and I haven't found one that fits my needs. So I'm just skipping that step. I would suggest moisturize, and then I would also suggest using SPF. SPF for me, I would use the Coola. It has a matte tint to it and the tint is very light. I'm very fair and it's not too dark. It's very important to protect your skin from the sun because the sun is what gives you premature wrinkles and it just makes your skin look tired, dull, and just like bleh. So protect your skin from the sun. You will avoid those dark spots and all the other things that come with it. After you're done with skincare, I go on into primers. Primers is what's going to help your makeup stay on longer, and it's also going to help create that smooth base. So for a primer, I'm going to start with the Becca Light Priming Filter. This is their newest one. It is beautiful. A video on it, but of course with all the reviews that I do, I love to try products for like more than 1 week just to give you guys an honest opinion. I start off with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. This has electrolytes in it, so it's going to give you a little bit added hydration. Oil free, it's water, and it's just going to refresh the skin. You can use it also to set your makeup. Just a couple spritz, you know, couple spritz is what we all say, but we end up bathing in it. And yeah, after that, I'm going to go in with the Tarte Clean Slate Smoothing Primer. I swear by this for the under eyes. This is honestly the best. Gonna fill in those pores, fill in the cracks, and just create a nice smooth base. It's thick in consistency, but it doesn't feel like it. So I just go ahead and I put this under the eyes, my nose, and the forehead, because the forehead is an area where my foundation tends to separate, which kind of sucks and is unfortunate, but it does. It happens. So now that we're done priming and moisturizing and all that jazz, it's time for foundation. Now, it doesn't really matter what foundation you're going to use, but because this is the full coverage look, I'm going to be using the Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream. This is full coverage. This has natural semi-matte finish. It's not oily, it's very heavy and thick, and it's mousse to cream like consistency. A little bit goes a long way, so this is going to last you for a long time, which is awesome because it costs $49 and we love to save money, right? So I pump this on the back of my hand. You can do it on the back of your hand. You can do it on a mixing tray. I'm just doing it on the back of my hand because it's just less work and I'm lazy. So I go ahead and I usually pump 1.5 pumps or 2 pumps. You can definitely do 1.5 for the whole face. And to lay that on the skin, I'm going to be using this tiny little cute foundation brush from IT Cosmetics. Take some of it from the back of my hand and I start dabbing it and just mixing it onto the skin. Applying foundation with brushes isn't one of my favorite techniques, But if it's one of your techniques, I can totally understand. You know, everybody has their own preference and things like that. One of the tips that I can give you if you do apply foundation with a brush is to do clockwise and counterclockwise movements, just so that it can sink in and blur out those pores. So if you just do it in one, you know, kind of weird, just very repetitive stroke, then you're gonna have streaks and it's not going to blend and blur your pores. What I like to do is I like to lay it down with a brush first, blend it a little bit, and then I go in and I diffuse it with a damp beauty blender. Using it damp, not dry. You'll notice that with my foundation, I don't bring it under my eye. I usually leave that area blank. For concealer, I don't have a lot of under eye circles to cover, so I could do without bringing product up there. But if you do feel like you need that extra coverage, then go ahead and bring your foundation all the way up. After you're done blending away, I go ahead and I take my concealers. Now I've been using a mix of two because I feel like just using one, it's a little too light. It gives me the right shade that I'm looking for. So for that, it's obviously the Shape Tape. They are fantastic. The coverage on them, insane. You only need a little bit. For me, Tarte makes one of the best concealers. The concealers that I've loved have all been from Tarte. They make the best concealers, I feel like. So the Shape Tape is their newest addition to the family, and it's phenomenal. It has a very big, chunky doe foot applicator. I'm using the shade Light Neutral and Fair Neutral, and if you can see the way that I apply the concealer, I apply Light Neutral more on the outer corners of where concealer usually goes. Light Neutral is basically the barrier, and then Fair Neutral is the filler. And for concealer, you want to apply under the eyes and to the center of the face. A lot of people just put concealer on the under eyes by themselves, but that creates a very unnatural look. So you just want to bring and tie it all together. This is what's going to bring the light into that area, and that's usually where you want to look, you know, the brightest. So Shape Tape is where it's at. After that, I go ahead I instantly bake the under eyes because I can't deal with any stickiness, you know. So I go in with a Kat Von D translucent setting powder. This is life. This is $30 and you get so much product in here. It's a phenomenal powder. There's no point in putting a colored powder that's the same shade as your foundation where your concealer goes, because that's taking away from the point of concealer. Concealer is supposed to be 1 to 2 shades lighter than your foundation, which is why I do translucent in those areas. And then for the rest of my face, I go in with my Ride or Die, my Becca multitasking powder in the shade Fair. This is my favorite powder in the whole wide world, and I know that it's so small, but little goes a long way. I've bought it 3 times. I'll continue to buy it. I love it so much. After that, I'll go ahead and contour and bronze. So for that, I'm using the You Sculpted palette from IT Cosmetics. It's not my favorite palette, but it's doing its job. I use the shade Soft Contour, which comes off as a very ashy and warm at the same time, and it's the lightest one from the palette. I can't use the two darkest ones at the bottom because that is more for when I'm tan, which I'm going to self tan tonight. Use Soft Contour and Light Contour. I use Soft Contour first, and the way you want to apply this is I like to hold the brush at an angle. This is an angled contour brush. So I hold it at an angle facing upwards, and I brush it almost in, when you make the fishy face, you get the hollows of your cheeks. Once you put the product in the hollows of the cheeks, I like to buff it upwards in an upward motion. It's going to lift your face and give you that like high definition sculpted cheekbone, which we all want. If you drag the product down, it's gonna look muddy, it's not gonna look good. So after I do that, I take a little more, you know, tapered but still fluffy brush, and I take the shade Light Contour, which is more of a warm, and I use this to kind of just, this is my bronze color. Difference between contour, and then there's a difference between bronzing. Bronzing, it's not so sharp, it's not so, you know, sculpted. It's more messy, it's more just to give you that bronze look, like blush. But contour is more sculpted and more like boom, boom. So I go ahead and I take a fluffier brush, and I take the Light Contour shade, which is more warm, and I put that above, but mixing into the Soft Contour shade. And I do that in circular motions until it's all blended and airbrushed. I also bring that a little bit onto the cheeks because I don't use blush. Blush isn't one of my things. I don't really like it. I only do it once in a blue moon, but This is kind of like my blush. This is going to give me color just because it's also a little warm. So it's kind of like MAC Give Me Sun. So yeah, that's what I do for contour. After that, I go back with my Kat Von D palette and I just go right under that contour. I realize I said Kat Von D palette, I mean Kat Von D translucent powder again, and I use that just to sharpen it up and clean up the contour. So go ahead and I contour my nose. I've been using powder and the U-Sculpted palette to, you know, pinch my nose in and just shape it the way I want. You don't have to do this, but I do this because I enjoy this and I like the way it looks. So yeah. The last step is to finish with adding mascara to the lower lashes and adding your favorite lipstick. It's the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It is one of my favorite looks to do because it's so natural looking. Even though it's a lot of steps and it's full coverage, it's so natural looking, and it's for a day where you don't want to do heavy eyeshadow or anything like that. Oh yeah, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and stay tuned for my next video. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching. Bye!